Welcome, this is Grimorum and thank you for watching my Invoker video. Today I will tell you about the new Exort Invoker because it was recently buffed. First of all, this is a pub game, so do not expect any good team play. Third, I did not choose a replay where I went godlike and killed everyone, well, because that's quite boring and unchallenging, and this game was quite difficult. One of the most important things in pub game is you need to check your allies' starting items. A quick browse, and I found out that Earthshaker is one of the newer members, and you can't really rely on him because he started with boots of speed. It's one good important information you need to know. One of my favorite things in Dota 2 is that you can have a custom shopping list. If you look on the top right, I typed in black for Black King Bar. Typing in link for Lincoln Sphere. You can't really the recording doesn't show my custom shopping list, but I could take things out and put things in, so I can quickly buy the things that I need. I want to tell you a little bit about creeping, blocking creeps, which is pretty important. But in this game, well, I kind of messed up because if you played as many games as I have, you kind of lose focus a lot, and just a lot of times you just don't really care. But if you block creeps properly, you will be on the uphill, and your opponent will be on the at the bottom of the hill, and that's really important because 25% of the attacks will be missed. That's if it's going uphill. And one of the greatest advantage of Sunstrike is you have pure damage. It ignores all physical and magical resistance. You have extra damage for last hits, and you have great global presence. You can Sunstrike anywhere on the map. So Sunstrike will be your main spell, and it works great if your team can ping or alert you with voice chat when needed. But that's actually one of the biggest problems because pubs will not coordinate team play and will not use voice chat or ping. In the laning phase, you can actually use Alacrity to boost your attack damage to get the last hits, but you know, your mana is pretty limited, and if you invoke Alacrity, you would lose a Sunstrike. And I feel that helping your team to get a kill is a lot more important than getting a few more creep kills. Now most of the time your pubs will not tell you when to Sunstrike, so watch the minimap and Sunstrike as needed. Or more importantly, you should try to communicate with your team. Tell them to stun and you follow up with a Sunstrike. Heroes like Sven, Furion, Shadow Demon, Vengeful Spirit, those heroes with like 2-second stuns are perfect to guide your Sunstrike because it has a 1.7-second delay. So you can really tell Earthshaker's not a really good player. He totally missed the fissure and he did not even block off the ramp. But try not to let it bother you. Now I should have got started with a healing flask instead of Tango, but I played so many games, you know, I was not alert and was not focused as I should have. I didn't even know my support did not even buy a courier, which is pretty shocking to me because in the last 100 games, like 95 of my games, like somebody would buy a courier. I was just really shocked. I even bought a Blades of Attack and it's just sitting there. Now the last Sunstrike on Lion, it would have dealt a lot more damage, but one of the enemy units like appeared at the last second. So one of the bad thing about Sunstrike is the damage is shared among all the enemy units in that area. So let's say my Sunstrike is supposed to do 100 damage to one unit, but if there are 2 units there, then it would do 50 each. The last Sunstrike, I think, if I remember correctly, that was the only time my team had actually either ping or did a voice chat to ask me to Sunstrike the entire game. That was the only time. Now with the new Exort buff, Meteor has a shorter delay. It lands after 1.3 seconds as opposed to the old 1.5 seconds. And the damage is also buffed by a little bit, slight buff. Now notice I don't have any wards. My support didn't put any at all. So you need to play very careful, because if you need to pay attention to what your enemies are playing. Sven, Vengeful Spirit, Lion, those 3 are really good at ganking. They could come from top lane and bottom lane, and with all that fog I could just easily die. And most of the time I would try to grab the runes, even though like Invoker isn't that great at getting using the runes. You want to stop your opponents from getting it, and the Vengeful Spirit and Sven is trying to kill the courier, so I'm just trying to watch out for that. And luckily VS got stuck and I got an easy kill on him. Now Deafening Blast, I do not recommend using that until at least level 5 Exort, because Deafening Blast requires Qua, Wex, and Exort, and if one of those is not leveled pretty high, it's a really weak spell at lower level. Another big disadvantage of Exort is that the spells have a really high casting cost and a really long cooldown. Most games people expect you to use Tornado and EMP. The last gank I almost died. You have to be very careful. If you get hit by the Ravage and then Lions follows up with a stun, you're pretty much dead, because Sniper is just gonna assassinate and there's really nothing else you can do. Now I really want to help my team, but I've been sunstriking across the map. I had no chicken and I have no ward. I mean, even if I TP, I won't be able to do anything. That Sunstrike would have normally hit, but Sven ate a tree and that's why I missed. One alternative to going Usurper first is you could get like treads and like start ganking, but I think that Sunstrike is a lot more helpful, a lot more efficient, because you can stay in your lane, farm, and deal a lot of damage unexpectedly. I mean, even if you like roam around with Invoker, I mean he is such a glass cannon. Like 2 stuns, he's easily dead. And if you try to use Ghost Walk, it's like you lose your Sunstrike spell and you end up spending like 220 mana or more. Now in public games, half the times your opponent will not buy dust, and you can easily escape with Sunstrike. I mean, I'm sorry, Ghost Walk. Easily escape with Ghost Walk. Now I was waiting for this Sven to run away, but I guess he's so farmed he could just stand there and tank the creeps and just. But I was just waiting for him to move. But yeah, like I said, but in serious games, Ghostwalk will actually get you killed. Now, why do I say that? Because some of the death could be avoided by tornado, ice wall, or blast, or even simply casting a meteor could scare them away. But in serious games, if you cast Ghostwalk, the opponents will easily dust, and you end up with one or no spells at all to run away. And especially since Exort Invoker has no movement speed, he's one of the slowest heroes without Wex. And another bad thing about Exort is it's normally frowned upon, and it's very, very situational. Like I said earlier, early game, Sunstrike is only great if your allies can stun, but without any stun, Sunstrike will miss fairly often. Meteor and Deafening Blast is pretty devastating, but nobody's just gonna stand there and take the entire damage. If you're going Exort build, one of the best abilities you need in a team fight are like Black Hole, Darkseer's Vacuum, or like Magnetor's Reverse Polarity. Now, remember this: carry needs farm, right? Invoker needs level. So therefore, Invoker needs a solo lane, and preferably middle or bottom lane if you're Sentinel. If you're Scourge, you want to go either middle lane or top lane, just because level 1 he has no spells. You need to be able to hug the tower. Now right there, it's like pubs are so bad where like they don't even know their hook can kill Lion. So I mean, I told Pudge like 3 times to hook, and it's pretty frustrating to play and just wait for your team to do something, but their response time is so slow. One of my favorite things about Dota 2 is reconnection ability. You see, we've paused the game, nobody's complaining, nobody's asking why, because it is expected that the player that disconnected is going to reconnect. Doesn't matter if your Windows crash, your game crash, your computer shut down. If you connect within 5 minutes, the game continues, no problem. Otherwise, 4 vs 5, you can just leave. Now, another disadvantage about Exort Invoker is that you lack lane control, and you cannot make good use of the runes, and is below par in terms of Exort's ganking ability. I mean, Exort Invoker can do well soloing bottom lane if you're Sentinel, and your top lane if you're Scourge. But you better pray a support can neutral and help you from time to time, because Exort Invoker is rather frail and lacks disables and escapes. Also, your team will need a proper 2-second stun to guide your Sunstrikes. Alright, so we've paused for quite a long time. Let me just fast forward this a little bit. Alright, there we go. He connected, unpaused.
No.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now notice I have Ghostwalk invoked just because I have no wards, and 1 or 2 stuns can easily kill me. I know that having Ghostwalk unlikely to help the team, but at this point Exort is really not very good at helping allies. If in pub games, that is. See, like right there. As soon as Sand King throws a stun, you gotta throw your Sunstrike. But unfortunately, my team never asked me for Sunstrike. They just kind of like in their own little world. Now I'm waiting to grab this invisible rune because my Sunstrike's not quite ready. But when I am about ready to grab the Sunstrike, I hit the phase boot so I can run faster. I'm trying to figure out how to kill this lion without getting killed by Ravage and Finger. I am very confident that we'll kill him, so I just cast my 3 spells and TP away, and I was right. It was exactly enough. Now keep in mind that Steam has a pretty good system in terms of matchmaking, but if you don't have any game history, it will put you in the low skill bracket. Try not to make the mistake I did in the beginning where I just expected my team to buy a courier. Unfortunately, no one did. And, you know, courier is one of the best most important starting item. And once someone gets it, it's like automatically shared. Now right there I felt VS was pretty aggressive, so I backed out instead of engaging. I had a pretty good sense that they have wards and he had some backup, so it was a good thing that I did get back because stun, you're pretty dead. Now right here I'm telling Leoric to stun anyone, I'll kill him, but he just let VS walk by and didn't do anything. That just goes to show how bad like pubs are. It's very hard to rely on your team in pubs. Even as I'm talking in voice chat, they just not really paying attention. As you see, Sunstrike is not that hard to dodge. Like some players can easily dodge it as long as they have some experience. Especially since I've been Sunstriking the entire game. All you have to do is walk zigzag and you can dodge it. Right there, I'm telling Rasta we can gank Lion since it's 1 vs 2. Now if I had wards, I would have seen that 2 more Scourge were coming from the river, but unfortunately I do not have any wards. This is where map awareness comes to play, and good thing I saw a Tidehunter come by, so I could kind of prepare myself. I put my ice wall there, hopefully the Ravage won't kill me, but unfortunately VS came right by and finished me off and didn't even need the Ravage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I cross the final hill.
You deserved it.
If I didn't already say so, TP Scroll is one of my most favorite item. But with Exort, you can't really take good advantage of that because even if you like TP to your base where someone's diving, it's like Exort Invoker has no range and he has no disables and no movement speeds. I mean, you could get a level 1 Cold Snap, but you're unlikely gonna be able to kill someone with just Cold Snap. You know, I've seen many videos where people would right click like a madman. I mean, don't do that. Dota is not StarCraft. You don't need 300 APM to win the game. One of the worst consequences is carpal tunnel syndrome. I've experienced it and still do from time to time. If you do get it, you know, just search YouTube, you know, for carpal tunnel exercises. That could help a lot. I wish I had my Sunstrike out of cooldown so I could kill Tidehunter, but unfortunately I already used it on Sniper.
Radiant's middle
I
tower
quickly
is under
browsed
attack.
Lion's health points. I know that my 3-hit combo could do 1000 damage, and if I do a couple hits, that would be 1100 approximate. But unfortunately, my Exort is level 6. I would not be able to kill Lion at that point. I might as well try to just conserve my spell and just hope I could kill someone at a later time. Right here, I so wanted to just rush in with phase boots and just use Scepter, cast my Sunstrike, Meteor, and Deafening Blast, but 3 players are missing, and that Ravage is very devastating. You know, as the carry right now, I can't risk any more deaths. Well, this is the second time Leoric got disconnected. As you can see, everyone is still pretty patient, just waiting. I'm just gonna fast forward just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now at this point, I think I'm about to buy wards because I'm starting to get pissed off. Another thing you need to learn is the forest. There's a lot of areas where you can hide. It's good for escaping, especially if you want to TP away or if you want to juke somebody. See, that's what I'm talking about. If he dismembers, you can hear it, and then and you can Sunstrike accordingly. Right here, I'm about to kill him, but unfortunately, that stun on Leoric just hits me. I expected that Leoric to throw the stun earlier, and that meteor would have hit him directly, but unfortunately, he took way too long to throw that stun, and my meteor missed majority of it. Now I know VS was pretty low, so I just threw a random Sunstrike and hopefully I would get him, but not quite good enough. But it's better to try and miss than to not cast a Sunstrike at all. Now when I push lanes, with Exort that is, I generally try to avoid using Tornado, Meteor, or Blast because the cooldown is so long. I mean, Tornado's cooldown is 30 seconds, Meteor is 55, and Deafening Blast is 40 seconds. Alacrity and Forged Spirits are normally good enough to clear creeps. And always keep in mind what spells you have invoked first and second, because right now I have the Sunstrike invoked first, so if I invoke another spell I would lose Sunstrike. At this point in the game, as soon as I get U-Scepter, I need to start roaming and ganking. Be more aggressive because Exort Invoker's damage is fixed. It doesn't get any better like 50 minutes in the game or 100 minutes in the game. It's always going to be same amount of damage. Now right here, there's a lot of players missing. It's better to be safe than sorry, so I just use my Yule and cast the Sunstrike right away. It's better to be safe than sorry. One of my favorite things to do is I invoke Tornado first, invoke Meteor second, and then as soon as you cast your tornado, hit invoke, so you can have meteor blast and deafening blast ready. So when you do cast your deafening blast and meteor, you could have like an ice wall or a cold snap ready, well, pretty soon.
My chamber is empty.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, as invoker, you in team battles you want to throw all your AOE spells down first before you think about using something like Cold Snap or Sunstrike or Alacrity.
Dire's middle tower
Sometimes
is
you
under attack.
encounter damage heroes or DPS heroes with Black King Bar, and there's really nothing you can do besides Alacrity, casting Alacrity on your own carry and disabling the other heroes. Silence and Black King Bar or Avatar is like one of your worst enemies.
Short-sighted of you.
If you look at Leoric at the top, Vengeful Spirit actually force-stabbed himself on top of the cliff, and then he swapped them up here. Pretty interesting strategy. I'm surprised they didn't try to kill Leoric after that swap. Right here, I think I'm starting to get pretty upset because my team never bought wards, even though I asked them several times. You know, supports usually buys the ward so that the carry can farm. But I grew out of patience. They don't respond. They don't buy wards. So, I mean, when that happens, you know, just man up, buy it yourself. Most likely, you're gonna have to place it yourself too. As a caster, you
Radiant's middle
normally
tower has fallen.
at low levels don't initiate just because Exort Invoker has his tornado is such a short range, and level 1 quad really has no disables, or it doesn't disable at all. As you can tell, I'm pretty frantic about placing the ward because I have no vision. All of them are missing. But if they do show up, I could quickly use Scepter or just dagger away. Oh, one of the great things about dagger is that it works perfect with Yule Scepter. If someone's targeting you can Yule Scepter yourself and then dagger away.
Visibility?
Now I saw that 3 of my team died fairly quickly, so it's time to run. Now I had the feeling that I would get assassinated, so I stayed back and had my Ghost Walk ready.
Gunfighting without a gun, isn't it?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I wanted to Sunstrike Sniper there, but I did not want to remind him that I have that skill.
Dire's bottom tower
So
is
that
under
in the
attack.
future, if he does stay low, I could kill him, and you know he might
Dire's
forget that I have
middle tower
Sunstrike.
is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Now some people ask me, well, how come I don't get 4 Exort and 4 Quads right away so I can have double Fort Spirits? Well, in my opinion, that build is only good for farming. I mean, it has overall pretty good armor reduction and damage, but you know, opponents are not just gonna stand there and let you beat them up with their Fort Spirits. They're gonna run. You know, and the bad thing about spirits is that they run really slow. Now here's another good thing about dagger. without dagger, I would not have been able to get here in time to do the meteor blast. Right here, I really wanted to blink in and kill Sven, but I mean, kill Tidehunter, but I felt that I would just get disabled and I might even end up getting killed by the other team. Yeah, it's very important to keep to be aware of the map. We call it map awareness. Because the last Sunstrike kill, if I didn't browse the minimap all the time and check who's low level, I would not have been able to get that kill on Sniper.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Now in team battles, you normally want to, as a Exort Invoker that is, you want to have your Tornado, Meteor, and then Deafening Blast. So I could have used a U-Scepter on Sven, but I really did not expect Sven to deal like 300 damage and kill my tank. Let's just say I was lazy. And truthfully, when you play with bad teams, a lot of times your morale is low, and you start getting lazy. It's the third time we pause and still no one complains. That's one of the best thing about Dota 2. Just fast forward. Okay, he's reconnected again. See, right here I could have invoked like Alacrity to clear the creeps, but or even use a Deafening Blast, but my mana's pretty low. I would prefer to preserve it.
Haste.
When I see here opponents just wandering off alone, I could dagger in, use Scepter, and do my 3-hit combo. Right now I feel like we're about to have a team fight pretty soon, so I get my area of effect spells together: Tornado, Meteor. You normally want that Tornado first and then Meteor second, but in this case it wasn't, so you can't be too picky about that. That hook pretty much made us lose. You don't want to hook a BKB Sven with with double damage. It's just asking for it. You see that I'm always checking out what the enemy heroes have. It's like knowing that Sniper has a Lothar's is very important, because you know that without dust, it's pretty difficult to kill him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I felt pretty worried there because we have no wards, and I felt like I was gonna get ganked. So I healed myself quickly to avoid any stuns and staggered backwards. I could have held the orc, but I felt like helping the team at base is more important. His BKB ruined my meteor. Could have snapped him and he would have been stuck. Now Exort Invoker can initiate, but as you know, he's too frail, and my Qua and Wex is pretty low, so it's better to let someone like Earthshaker initiate. Now, if I was a Wex Qua Invoker, that would be very different. You know, the Wex would have a very long range tornado, and I could just initiate with tornado and EMP, but that's not the case with Exort. Plus, if I do initiate with, like, say, tornado, Ty could just blink in and ravage, and that would just totally cancel, you know, cancel my initiation and like ruin my meteor and blast. You know, positioning is very important for Invoker. So right now I'm telling my team like the plan. You know, it's better if Earthshaker or Pudge initiates, and then I could like say wait until Ty does his ravage, and then I could counter him with the tornado meteor blast. Don't have any good wards placed up because my last one just expired, so I'm kind of scouting with my forge spirits there. You see Vengeful Spirits at it again. He threw himself on the ledge and hopefully gets someone stuck with swap. I know that the enemy heroes are pretty nearby, so I just hope I could throw in a couple hits right there and then Sunstrike and walk away. But unfortunately I missed by a little bit. And even if I did hit, he had 507 health. I would have missed by about 32 damage. So if I threw one more hit before his stun and timed that Sunstrike just right, it would have been just enough to kill him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Haste.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Right now I'm telling the team we should hug the tower and not really fight because my mana is pretty low and my meteor is on cooldown. As you can see that Yule Scepter and Dagger really saved me right there.
Serve your...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, Sven is dead, so is Tide and Lion. You know, 3 vs 5 right 3 vs 2 right now. It's a great time to do Roshan. So don't miss this kind of opportunity. It doesn't always come, you don't always get a second chance. Now keep in mind, Alacrity is normally best on your carry hero, so don't. Normally it's not good to cast it on yourself. Cast it on your carry, like the Auric. Also, remember, Roshan has a Lincoln's spell disbuff. So you want someone like Leoric to dispel his spell block so you can cast Code Snap.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
For ages more.
I remember this part. I specifically told the team to let Leoric Skeleton King pick up the regen rune, but
Regeneration.
in the Pudge doesn't like to listen. Oh, if you're not familiar with the Dota 2 icons, in my inventory I have a TP Scroll, Aghanim Scepter, U Scepter, Blink Dagger, Phase Boost, and Aegis. I think I remember I bought wards just recently, maybe 3 minutes ago, and since my inventory is full, I asked my team to buy it. I mean, not buy it. I asked my team to place it, but unfortunately, someone placed it over here, which doesn't really do anything. Right here, I really wanted to drop down Sniper's armor, and hopefully, I can kill him with my 3-hit combo. But the ward reveals that his team was pretty nearby, so I just backed off instead of trying to kill him. I just bought a Smoke of Deceit. You know, usually support buys that, but if they don't, you know, just man up, buy it yourself. I remember here telling Earthshaker to dagger in to do his ultimate, and then I'll wait for Tide to do his Ravage, and I'll counter with the Tornado Meteor Blast, but he just sat there and did not do anything. Maybe it's because he don't understand me. I'm not sure why, but he never spoke or communicated at all. So if you play against someone like Tide Hunter and Sven with Black King Bar, you really can't afford to initiate. Really need Earthshaker to go in and do his or at least let Pudge hook someone in first. Okay, so ES is about to go in. Don't know why he had to fissure first. Now he gets stunned without doing anything. I tried to go in and tornado just salvage what I can, but it's already over. You know, you missed that missed the Echo Slam and you die without doing anything. It's just it's over. Couldn't really do anything about that. What I could do is throw my Force Spirit and hopefully kill the Vengeful Spirit.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And luckily I do hit that Sunstrike. I remember getting flamed right here by my team. They said, how come you didn't fight? You know, you have Aegis and stuff, but like, I mean, 1 vs 4 is really not going to do anything. But instead, I'm using Aegis to a better purpose now. I know that Earthshaker is about to get revived, so I try to stall as much time as I could. And it worked. We killed all 4 of them. Well, 5 now actually. Killed 5 of them.
Who slays me?
Dire's top
As you
tower
can see,
is under
the
attack.
Aegis was much better use than if I would just stay there and fight earlier.
Dire's
That
top
Echo
tower
Slam
is under
really
attack.
changes everything.
Fresh meat!
I remember that we were chatting about Black King Bar. Me and Leoric were pretty close to Black King Bar, so we decided to just farm a little bit before engaging again. But unfortunately, whoever used my my observer ward and placed it over here really ruined really ruined it, because if the ward was properly placed, Leoric would not have died. And it's pretty frustrating. Right here I was telling the team, like, don't put the ward there because the trees, you know, they fog our vision. It's better to put the observer ward on a cliff like here or here. That way we can see, we have more vision, and we can also see the ward runes pop up too. Now sometimes I like to cast my forward spirits and just push the lanes, like top lane or bottom lane, but I felt like I'm gonna need it pretty soon, so with a 30-second cooldown, it's sometimes better to use it during the fight instead of pushing the lane.
Stop shaking.
Unfortunately, the Earthshaker kind of messed up again. He should be the one staying back, but unfortunately he got caught by Sven and died before he even get to Echo Slam. And that's where we lost the second fight. Without Echo Slam is a very big disadvantage for us.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
After 2 attempts of failed Echo Slam, I pretty much lost all hope.
Radiant's bottom tower is
I just
under
wanted
attack.
to get a few kills before the game's over.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Dead loss. Meet the undertow.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks.
Now, a lot of times, when you get flame, you're gonna get pretty angry, but try to keep calm. You could try to teach instead of correct. Basically, if you do not have anything good to say, just keep quiet. Correcting someone makes them feel inferior and puts them on the edge. So instead, you know, you can teach them and hope they will feel enlightened.
Radiant's middle
So how do you go about doing that? Well, instead of saying something like "you dummy," don't put the wards there. You know, you could say like, "Oh, wards lose their effectiveness when trees fall guard vision." You know, wards are generally better when set on cliff tops, rune spawns, and ledge.
Earth take you.
If you lose, don't beat yourself up, but do reflect on what you could have done better.
Is under attack.
In pubs, it is very common to get flamed upon. You know, people will blame you for many things, and sometimes there's really nothing you can do about it. And, I mean, trust me, I've tried. If you try to justify your actions, you get more flames because, you know, when people are angry and they're losing, and they just lose their temper and they're not very logical. And you have to think also that, you know, sometimes, you know, someone's personal life can be affecting their mood. So, you know, try your best not to judge.
Oh, slaughter Lord.
Radiant's ancient
So just a
is under
quick
attack.
recap, Exort Invoker was recently buffed, but that skill build is still very situational. Wex Invoker is still the absolute best skill build. You know, thank you again for watching and hope you enjoyed this video.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
This is Grimorum signing out, and until next time.